Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your bro, hope you're doing well, and in this video I'm going to explain functions in JavaScript, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. All a function is that it's a block of code designed to perform a particular task or procedure. I like to think of it like a subroutine, and we invoke or call a function whenever we want our function to perform its task. But we need to first define what we want our function to do. And to create a function, this is what we do. We type function, and then we need a name for this function. Let's create a function that will just say hello, something very basic. Function, say hello, then add a set of parentheses, then a set of curly braces, and then a semicolon at the end. Anything between this set of curly braces is referred to as the body of our function, and whenever we call or use this function, it's going to perform any code within its set of curly braces. So let's just log a message to our console. Console.log, I'll just say the word hello. Now to call and use this function, we just type the name of the function, followed by a set of parentheses. And that's it. Let's try it. So this will display the word hello. I could call this function as many times as I want, so let's display the word hello 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. You get the idea. And you're not limited to just one line of code. Basically, you can write like a whole program within the body of a function. So let's say console.log hello, then have a nice day, and lastly, maybe goodbye. Goodbye. Okay, let's try it again. Since we called this function 4 separate times, we performed any code within the body of this function a total of 4 times. So we displayed hello, have a nice day, and goodbye 4 separate times. If we only called it once, we will only perform this subset of code only once. Now with functions, they have access to any variables outside of the function. Let's say we have a variable myName, and set this equal to whatever your name is. So our function actually has access to it because it has what is known as a global scope. Anything that is declared inside of a function is considered to have a local scope. I'll create a separate video on global and local scopes. So let's say hello, my name. And then I need to call this function, say hello. So this will display hello, bro, or whatever your name is. So functions have access to anything that is global. Anything that is global is declared outside of a function, basically. But that might not always be the case. We can always pass values or variables to a function in order for that function to use them. So when you call a function, you just list a value or a variable here. Let's say I would like to pass in my name. When you send values to a function, these are known as arguments, not to be confused or mixed up with parameters. So I will pass my name over to say hello, but I need a matching set of parameters, so I'm also going to list my name here as well. So if this variable was not global, well then that's another way in which we can access this variable, and this will display hello, whatever your name is too. Now you can also pass just a value, let's say bro, and that would work as well. And you can send more than one value too. So let's say we have an age. I'll say bro and then 21. So I need a matching parameter as well. Let's say my name and my age. And you can name these parameters whatever you want. Think of it like a nickname for these values that it receives inside of the function. And I will display another message. Console.log you are, comma, my age, years old. Hello, bro, you are 21 years old. So arguments are the values or variables that you send to a function, but with your function, you need to have a matching set of parameters. And the name of the parameters really doesn't matter. You can change these names if you want to, but you just have to make sure that they match. We could say, instead of my name, just name and age. That would work too. And one feature available with functions is that we can return a value back to the spot in which we originally called a function by using this return keyword at the end of our function. We can return some value, variable, or we could even write an expression here. So let me give you a demonstration with a completely different example. Let's say that we would like to write a program that will convert Fahrenheit to Celsius. So let's create a function that will take care of that for us. Function toCelsius is a good name. We're going to pass in a value as Fahrenheit. Since we're receiving one value as an argument, we need a matching parameter. So let's say F short for Fahrenheit. Then we need a set of curly braces for the body of our function, and then end with a semicolon. So let's say var result equals, then here's the formula to convert from Fahrenheit to Celsius. F minus 32 times 5 divided by 9. And then we are going to return whatever our result is. However, you can write this using one line of code. Instead of storing the result within a variable named result, we can just return our expression, whatever value our expression evaluates to. So I'm going to return the result of our expression here. This is also valid. Okay, now when we call toCelsius, and let's pass in maybe 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, when I run this won't appear to do anything. That's because our function is returning our value to the spot in which this function is called. So we can do something with this value that is returned. So let's store it within a variable. Let's say var myTemp, short for my temperature. So when we call our function, it's going to assign whatever value is returned into this variable of myTemp. And let's display whatever my temperature is using the log method of console. Console.log. Let's print a message to my temp in C is comma my temp comma degrees. Okay, so 100 degrees Fahrenheit converted to Celsius is about 37.7 degrees. Now with functions, you definitely can have more than one. Let's create a separate function, a second function to convert from Celsius to Fahrenheit. So let's declare that function. Function to Fahrenheit. There will be one parameter, which we will call C, then curly braces, semicolon at the end, and we will return, here's the formula. So it's going to be C times 9 divided by 5 plus 32. So let's call toFarenheit and pass in 37.7. That should give us a temperature in Fahrenheit pretty close to 100. So let's call toFarenheit and pass in 37.7 degrees Celsius. My temp in F for Fahrenheit is 99.86 degrees. Well, everybody, in conclusion, a function is just a block of code that is designed to perform a particular procedure or task for us whenever it is called. And when you call a function, you can also pass values or variables to a function. These are known as arguments, but your function is going to need a matching number of what are called parameters. And lastly, you do have the option of using this return keyword at the end of a function to return a value, variable, or the result of an expression back to the spot in which you call a function. Now, if you would like a copy of this code, I will post all of this to the comments section down below. But yeah, those are how functions work in JavaScript.